There is so much excitement and wonder in the preparation, not only for the Christmas and holiday season, but getting ready to start a fresh new year. So I offer to you, can you feel it in the cozy warmth around the house and the fireplace? Can you smell it throughout your house, in your kitchen, or the other areas in which you might visit and gather? Can you see it out in the frost in the morning, on the trees, in the forest, along the ways? And even in the deep freeze like today in Chicago, I certainly love to get outside, to bundle up, and to get that crisp, fresh air. So you might recall some of the stories around Christmas and the three kings who brought gifts to Jesus. The three gifts I truly cherish around the Christmas season and any time of year, it's a great time of remembrance, reflection, is gathering, giving, and gratitude. In the context, as you know, of a vibrant, large, very expressive family, you know where I get it from. I invite you to walk through memory lane, and I'll also walk you through my home, which was not always a Rockwell moment. I am going to really share with you around gathering, giving, and gratitude. As I start, it all was around gathering. It was a large, vibrant family. I'm the youngest of 9, and when I was little, and my oldest brother, 20 years older, so you can imagine just the differences in our house from the get-go. My oldest nephew is 2 years younger than I am. So when we were around the Christmas tree and we were looking at presents, both him and I, my nephew, we would wrestle over Christmas gifts. Abraham, you'll like this because it's going to feel like a buffet moment. We had such a large family, we had multiple tables. So of course, there's always the kids' table. And then at what time, what age do you kind of graduate from that? And you can finally be at the adult table. So as I shared with you what it was like with my family and the age differences, you can only imagine. Like it took forever. I don't know that I ever got it to the adult table. But for me, walking into the kitchen, mouth-watering, delicious smells that you know from the cookies, from the pie that was all homemade. In the background, you could hear the Christmas carols. And back in the day, yes, it was a record player. It was long before Spotify was ever a thing. That was our house. That was our gathering. That was our moment together. It started early and it ended late. When we got done with our holiday meal around the tables, it was around giving. Surely there was giving at the table, but now it was around the gifts and being able to extend to one another what we thought would be really meaningful for those that would receive the gifts. There were surely hugs and kisses around. So probably a lot of you can relate to that. You know, like the aunts and the grandmothers that they just love to run up to you and like pinch your cheeks and just give you a big hug. That was our family. It never went away, and I love it to this day. The warmth that was around the fire, the smells that you could come in that room and around the Christmas. So as you can imagine, a large family in a large house, we didn't have but 2 Christmas trees. That's how many gifts there were. Like literally, that's how many gifts. You felt like you were probably walking into a Walmart. And so it took hours of unwrapping after hours of eating and preparation and getting ready for that. We would sit around the Christmas trees and have the presents around for us. And a unique aspect around unwrapping the gifts, you might kind of think like, man, how do you do that with, I don't know, maybe 30 people in a room, all these kids running around? How do you corral it all? So our way of doing it was unwrapping gifts based on the age. And so as you can imagine, it was a wonderful lesson for the little kids because they really had to be patient. And some, then we would challenge them and say, hey, can you guess what's in that gift? Do you have any idea what you're looking for? And again, it was not a Rockwell moment every time, I'll tell you. There was times, one where my brother, he really wanted this bike. He really wanted to have a bike. Large family, we didn't have a lot of extra kind of money just laying around. So my parents did all that they could, and they got a bike for my brother. When he looked at it, He said, Mom, Dad, this is great, but it's not what I want. It's not the kind I want. And through the generosity of my family and my parents, he had the bike, he accepted it, but again, it wasn't always a Rockwell moment. And around gratitude, very grateful for all those moments that I just shared with you. And not only at the time, but continuing to give it forward and in my family. And what that also does is not for today, but for tomorrow. The gifts and the gratitudes that come, not the physical presence, but being present in the moment. And Joelle, as you shared this morning, again, taking those moments of just every day and kind of stepping away, that's gratitude for me as well. Of having that love around the family, the imperfections, the bumps and the bruises that will come along the way. But there's always that hope and that ray of hope and that sunshine for a better tomorrow and what that will bring. So I shared with you 3 gifts that were really a treasure for me around the Christmas season. And I would ask of you, what 3 gifts do you have and do you want to bring forward in this holiday season, whether you recognize the Christmas season or not? This is always just a great time of year to reflect back and to think about the tomorrows. And in the hustle and bustle, I really encourage you all to take a moment and pause and breathe. And I say that to myself as well, because we can, right? Especially now, like there's so much to be done in the next few weeks and such. So again, just encourage you all to take that time. And when we unwrap the season and it wraps up and we get together and look at that gathering and such, sometimes it feels like we fed 5,000. And yes, by the way, that truly was a miracle. And my prayer for you and my gift for you today is the miracles and the hope, and encourage you to look for those and find those, because they are along the way, not only in memory lane, but in the future going forward. So I wish you all a very, very blessed holiday season and off to a great start for 2025.